I absolutely love this passenger coach. That actually looks pretty cool. I really tried to make it feel very overgrown. I think it's time to get building the actual entrance. The entire flipping building's flying. The logo is just the last finishing touch that it needed. And yeah, I gotta go sleep. Welcome to episode 3 of the Dream Park 2 series. Today is going to be an insane episode. We are actually going to begin the next area. That's right, we're going to expand from the car park and the entrance and move forward with our park. But firstly, before we do that, and actually before I tell you what the next area is, you can see I made a few changes to not only the entrance, but the actual car park. So let me show you them to you. Ow, I just hit. So let me show them to you. First of all, I've highlighted that this is a ticket stall. It's nothing glamorous. It's literally just an overhang with the word tickets, but I have added some pretty nice fencing right here. And I also made some classic British bins and placed them everywhere throughout the car park. You can see them all around. I also made this huge like hedge just alongside this side of the car park. It does use the realistic bushes, and I don't know, do they have limits? So if you do know, if you can only place a certain amount of these new bushes, let me know. I'd appreciate that. I've also added some graffiti onto the back of a train station right here, just because I thought it looked a bit too clean, if you get what I'm saying. And I think, especially from like a far up here, it looks really nice. And that's all for the changes I've made off camera. We still need to do something with this area, and you know what? I think we're gonna do that on a live stream, finishing this area, building it all up. So make sure that you are subscribed for that. So if you're subscribed, you'll never miss an episode, and you'll also never miss a live stream. So yeah, I appreciate you if you subscribe. I appreciate that. Right, enough yapping, let's get to it. I have planned this out. What I want to do is sort of have this like, I want to sort of have this as a semicircle, and then it'll just like lead into a single path, if that makes sense. So let me actually show you. And I don't think that's gonna cut it. That's the sort of shape I want, but I need this going all the way to here. How are we gonna do that? I know how to do that. We gonna need some custom circle action going on. So if I now rotate this, I should be able to rotate it. Yeah, what? There we go. That is perfect. So I'm gonna fill that in. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought it would. And now it's looking very plain. And I'm not entirely sure what to put here. First thing that came to mind was a statue, but of what? But at the moment, I'm just gonna leave that blank. And I actually sort of want the paths to like spread out everywhere. So you'd have a path going out this way and a path having going out that way. Actually, let's get started on that. I want them to be quite large paths. Now this is gonna be pretty tricky, but I want this path to sort of like, I don't know how to explain this, but I guess just sort of connect from here to here and have it less of a dome shape. You know what? I'm just gonna finish all the paths up, and I'll see you in a second, because I don't know how to explain this at all, but you'll know what I mean when y'all see it. So hopefully, I don't know. Let's just cut some. Guys, I don't know what time it is. I don't know what's going on, but something's following me. I don't know who they are or what they want. But before I go, please just do me one thing, and that is follow my Instagram. Link in the description. Please just follow my Instagram. It's just easy. One click. Just one. Please. Oh my! Do you hear that? No! Follow my Instagram. Link in the description. Oh! Okay, I've finished the paths, and you can probably, hopefully, see what I meant. So you can see here's the original dome sort of shape, and then we have this sort of shape going on here, connected up to this path, and it sort of acts as like a funnel. And then we've got this other path going off to the left over here, and you're probably wondering why there's two different paths. Why isn't it just one path and it just splits off into many? Well, that's because we're gonna have the new area right where I am standing. Right where I'm standing, there is going to be buildings and buildings and buildings, like a ton of buildings, and of course a roller coaster. Yeah, we're putting a roller coaster in today's episode. Oh, I'm gonna be cooked. I'm not gonna cook. I'm going to be cooked. I'm not great at roller coasters, but you know what? I'm gonna do my best. And I thought I should probably tell you what the theme's gonna be. What is our first area going to be? I bet that's the question that y'all are probably wondering, and you should probably know it before we build anything more. Yeah. So do you want to know what it is? The first area of the Dream Park 2 is going to be, drumroll please, Arcane! Yep, Arcane, League of Legends, the Netflix series. It's going to be the first area of my dream park. If you don't know what Arcane is, it is one of Netflix's biggest shows, and for good reason. It is taken TV shows to the next level. I mean, just look at this art style. I love how this looks. And not only just how it looks, the story, the writing, it is just 10 out of 10 amazing. I do recommend you watch at least, you know, one episode of the series so you have a little bit of an idea of what we're doing here. But let's stop yapping and let's get building. And what I want is there to be like a whole bunch of alleyways, but there's gonna be this main centerpiece of an area right around here. But there's gonna be like arcane restaurants. There's gonna be maybe a flat ride. I don't know. First of all, we gotta build it. So, okay, bear with me. This will look a whole lot better when it's done, hopefully. But you know what? Let's actually plan out the buildings. What they're gonna look like. Which is gonna be easier said than done. Oh my days. But I'm gonna have a building right here with like a little second story bit, and then this will also be connected to another pretty tall building actually on the other side. The one thing with buildings on Arcane is they're just so complex. There's so many shapes going on, and the colors as well. So yeah, this is gonna be probably the hardest area to build, and I'm doing it first. Yippee! You know what? I'm gonna clap my hands, and all these buildings will be built. Well, not all of them, a few of them. All right, so just the plan. So because you know that will probably take me an entire like week to finish all these buildings. Let's just clap my hands up. Okay, it's nearly been an entire hour. I think I've pretty much finished all the planning that I want to do. Literally just the basic shapes of the buildings. You want to see it? Here we have it. This is going to be what the arcane area is going to look like. But I mean, it probably looks like a big old mess at the moment. So let me take you through it. Right here is going to be like the entrance to it, to the main area. There's also, if we walk through here, there is going to be another entrance to this area, which will be connected to another area, which I won't spoil what that is yet. But this pathway is going to take you to this like main center point right here. There'll be restaurants, there'll be like gift shops, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff around here, maybe even like a drop tower or something, because this is like prime location for drop towerness. So you're gonna have like these stalls right here, got a few of those around. But then yeah, there's all these just fancy looking buildings, and a lot of Zorn just has like these triangle roofs. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of buildings with awnings. So most of these will have awnings, like literally like a you know, makeshift market stall awning sort of thing. It's got like fancy sciencey lab sort of stuff. I don't know what the MP's gonna be like after this one, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. So right here is going to be the entrance of the roller coaster. And you're probably wondering why the gap's open. Why isn't there a building? And that's because I've already built the building many months ago. You may remember, if you've been watching the channel for long enough, I actually have built an arcane building before. You gotta love it when actually Roblox loads other park names. Blimey. I don't know which park it is. No, what is this park? Oh, I've got to wait another 90 seconds. Ah! Oh my days, I can't load this park in for the life of me. Roblox, why do you censor park names? I've got to wait another minute. Oh my days, I did it again. This is the wrong park. I can't find this park for the life of me. Oh, thank goodness I loaded the right one, and I'm just gonna crash out. Anyway, this is the last drop. This is a very important building and just location inside of Arcane. There's like Vine Jinx's like house when they were younger. It's like the main center point of Zorn. It's like Vander's bar. And months ago, I built it for a video. This is how it turned out, and I just can't not, right? We gotta have the last drop in Zorn. And what's the point of building it again when we have it right here? The only problem is going to be moving this over into the Dream Park. So that's gonna be fun. And yeah, you might class this as cheating, but I built this in the past. I ain't building it again. If you do want to check out the video where I do build this, now I'll leave a link in the description. Okay, hopefully this isn't too bad to move over. Hopefully it's just under 1,000 items, but I mean, this wall alone is probably 1,000 items, blimey. Now let's save it as a blueprint. How we go? Oh my days. Yeah, we're gonna be cooked. That's 1,000 items, and it's like a quarter of the building. It's going to take me another hour. It's hard to see you back in the Dream Park. Oh my days, okay. Is this gonna fit? Oh yeah, it should be able to fit fine. Oh yeah, it'll fit perfect. Okay, it is gonna have to be on grid, but that's fine. Oh, I haven't grouped any of it. So if I misplace something, it is going to be a pain to remove it. Oh, and I just placed it wrong. Oh. Yeah, I'm cooked. Yes, GG. Oh my days. Can I salvage this? I don't know. Oh, I gotta be able to salvage this. Oh my days. It does kind of work like that, so if I can salvage this, it should be alright. Okay, I think I salvaged it for the most part. Look how cool it looks. I mean, it's the exact same building that I built months ago, but I'm still so happy with it. I think what I really tried to do with this building is have the main focus point, which is the sign and the door, be the brightest bits of this building, and then have these back walls be really dark sort of to force your focus, or your perspective, onto the front wall, and to make these back walls look further back. And also, on top of that, this is probably one of my most detailed builds I've ever built. So I'm so happy we have it in the Dream Park. I know it's a little bit cheaty since, you know, it's a build that I built ages ago, but come on! I know, you know what? Pretty overwhelming to look at, so let's not look at it and actually work on the roller coaster. That's what we're gonna need to do, like with this entrance. This will be the actual front door of the roller coaster, and we're gonna have to make this somehow an actual door. I think the first thing I'm gonna do is just break this down. There we go, it's now a door. So if we get rid of all of this, so this will be the door you will actually walk through, and the rest is just for detail. Oh, we're gonna have to do the interior of the last drop. Oh my days. Right, let's just get some basic walls in. Just like so. And I think it'll be cool if the queue, like the queue line, actually goes around the bar somehow. Like this will be a cattle pen. I think that's what those are called. Where you have the zigzaggy queue lines. Okay, we've got a big old blue box, and this will hopefully look like the interior of the last drop. But that will be until later on. For now, let's make a little doorway just, I think back here should be fine. And then this will just go down some stairs. Okay, then this room will actually be the station of the coaster. And then we'll have the roller coaster here. Just another platform here where you'll get off. This will be the exit. And then we can just have like one of these, maybe this building, just be the exit. We don't need the exit to be anything glamorous. So I think that's actually the whole plan of the queue done. I guess we actually just need a coaster now. Okay, so what coaster am I gonna use? So you're probably thinking I'm gonna use the phase turbine because it's just the best coaster in the game. And you're right! I'm joking, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. Y'all can chill. I think I'm actually gonna use the inverted coaster. Because one, I've never built with it. And two, just think how cool it would be to like fly through the entire like city of Arcane. Wait, question, this is important. I ain't actually checked this. Does it have boosters? It don't have boosters. Does it not have, it don't have boosters? I don't know how we're going to survive without no booster action, but you know, I think we can deal with it. So I guess let's actually get building it. So I'm actually gonna build it so it's facing this way rather than that way, and that is because if we just expand the station real quick, I'm going to have it have a chain lift going around here, and then we go and have a nice little lift hill. We're gonna have it curve around here. I don't think it can bank. Nope, it can't bank. Guess that makes sense. So we're gonna have it turn around here, and then it's gonna go straight down. Now this is the interesting bit. This is going to speed up Bioster. I want it to be sort of banking left and right. Actually, we're gonna have turn around like this. It's just gonna be going through a whole bunch of sewers. We're gonna have it turn around like this, come back on itself, and then it's going to go down here. Don't worry, it won't go through the queue. This is gonna be boxed off. I should be fine. Bro, I don't know why, but coaster kind of reminds me of like those squiggly fries, those French fries. You know what I mean? I'll put a picture on the screen. You know what I mean? It's not, it can't just be me. It's making me hungry looking at it. I'm sorry. Right, I think we do a roller coaster time lapse. I'll try and get this finished. Let's hit it.
Don't stop.
Okay, I've spent hours and hours on this roller coaster right here, just trying to make it as smooth as I can. And I think I've completely finished it, I think, for the most part. I mean, straight off, you can see I've actually changed the coaster from the inverted coaster, which is a two-seater, to the inverted coaster. They're both the inverted coaster, but this one's four-seater, and it just looks a lot nicer. But let me show you what this looks like.
You make
But the reason why there isn't a lot of inversions and fancy elements is mainly because there's going to be so much to look at that I don't think you really need any of the inversion stuff. Maybe you could do like a quick old barrel roll. But like, you're going to be flying through these buildings and everything like that. So I don't think it's really needed, to be fair. But I'm really happy with how this turned out. The ending was a pain to figure out because I wanted like this break run here. And then it just slowly go into a chain lift leading you back to the coaster. I really went over every single track piece like 100 times. So I'm hoping that this is good, because if it ain't, then yeah, that's gonna be fun. I might just have to bring in a coaster expert, but hopefully I can actually build a coaster myself. And yeah, this will just be the queue. You'll come in here, there'll be a zigzag like queue pen, and you'll go down here all the way to the station. And the interior of the last drop is basically just a bar. Pretty sci-fi looking bar. I got some reference pics on the side, so let's get building. Now the floor of the last drop has very fancy floorings, like this sort of pattern. I don't know what this is, but I think if we do this for the entire floor, it should make it look a whole lot nicer. And boom, there's the floor done. Now there's not a lot of reference images for the walls, because there's actually a lot of stuff attached to the walls. So I guess I'm just gonna try and make it up as I go along. So we can have like some plaster walls like this, I guess. And there are these like wooden beams coming out of them. And I am gonna add some boards going around the wall like that. So I guess if I do that for each wall, it shouldn't look too bad because stuff will go on top of the wall. So yeah, I guess we'll just see. Okay, that's all the walls in. And so far, it's looking pretty clean, if I do say so myself. I'm liking it. Okay, now let's actually start adding some furniture in here, making it look a whole lot nicer. And the first thing that I'm gonna do is add some spaces where there's gonna be like couches where people will sit. Basically just extra seating. So I'm just gonna bring this out and then make it a bit bigger. So it's kind of like a pillar. And just copy and paste this a bunch. And actually they do have some arches right here. There we go. There are some arches in. Let's make them look a little bit nicer now. Now I actually want to add the seating areas in. Now I'm just gonna need one of these on the other side. There we go. And now a table. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty nice. It does need a lot of work though, and I do need to add a whole bunch more seating areas. So you know what, I'm just gonna lock in and finish up this entire wall. So yeah, see you then. Okay, a few minutes later, and it is definitely looking a lot better. What I've done is I've changed all of the walls to purple instead of like that lighty blue cyan. I've added a little gradient right here on the outlines. I couldn't help myself, I love a good gradient. And I've added like these interesting like ball spheres onto the side of the walls. On the seating areas, I've added like, those are supposed to be wine bottles, and these are like beer bottles. And I think we should be able to add the bar stand right here. We're pretty limited on space, but this is the only spot we can add it because I want the queue to be going along this side of the wall. So let's get building. Actually, I'll bring this in a bit because I want this to sort of curve around somehow. How are we going to do that? Oh, I know how. Using these primitives. Literally perfect. Okay, I think that's a pretty good shape, but we're just going to paint it something nice. And then you know what? For the back walls, I'm actually going to use some barrels, I think. Just barrels stacked on top of one another. I think they should look nice. Just to decorate the back walls with. If it's just sort of storage. Now there are actually a lot of details on top of the bar, so I guess I can make those real quick. I could actually just borrow some of the ones I've literally just made, grab this, and then just change the color up to maybe like a green. Then what we can do is just change the shape to a few of them. Doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. What is that? Yeah, just trying to make some different sort of drinks. Okay, there we go. There's a few drinks done. Just makes it look like they actually have some things for sale. And there's actually a lot going on above the bar, so I'm just gonna snap my fingers like this. Okay, you know what? I am really liking this. I don't really know what this is. I think it looked really cool. I'm assuming it's some sort of like beer dispenser. At least that's what I thought it is. And maybe it holds like multiple drinks at once, and then you can pour it into whatever cup you want. I don't know. But it's in the last drop, and it's here in our last drop. It definitely adds the detail that was needed for the bar. And we're just gonna fill up this area, which is gonna be pretty easy, because we're just gonna add some table and chairs. That actually looks pretty fire, if I do say so myself. So now, if we've just placed one here, we can just rotate this around, place another one there. And you might be thinking that this is really empty. Well, don't worry. We gotta build a queue line. And actually, let's build it right now. I think I'm just gonna go with a standard, like, metal pole so people know it's a queue line and not just some sort of fencing. Okay, I guess this works. Let's just copy and paste this all along. And I think we don't actually need the cattle pen. I don't think I'm gonna do it because it would ruin how this looks. So I'm just gonna have it curve around here, then go to the door. It's a really long queue anyway, so we should be fine. I always get worried when I have to build the queue because I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so difficult to try and actually line this up. But no, this is actually pretty simple. I'll say that, and this is bigger than that. How did I manage that? Never mind. Okay, I finished the queue line. It just leads up into this door. I've added some drinks everywhere on these tables, and I think when you walk in, look how nice this looks. I'm very, very happy of this. Let me know what you guys think. I don't want to overcrowd this too much, and I don't want to waste too much MB on this, since it is literally just a queue line. Oh my days, I forgot to do the lighting. No! I'll do that off camera. Lighting's freaking boring, because that is sadly it for today's episode. We have done a lot. We've built the roller coaster, we've planned out the area, we've moved this huge building over, and we've built a whole interior to this building. So I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please do subscribe. New episodes out every Saturday. Huge thank you to all my members on screen right now. I cannot wait to see how this area is going to turn out like. Alright guys, have a good one. See ya.